Guys, I was never taught how to do the deed. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some things that I was never taught how to do, and hopefully you guys will be able to kind of understand and, relate to some of the things that I'm talking about. First, I want to give a shout out to my very much appreciated Patreon members. So Brian Anthony, Patrick Faring, Michael Helwig, Robert Roderick, John Spitznagel, Tim Hicks, Gaston F., Joshua Patterson, Jason Evitz, Joe L., W.L. Larson, and Jim. Thank you guys so much for your support over there on Patreon. I hope you're enjoying everything that you see over there. And if you guys don't know, I do have a Patreon account where I post once a week, and at least once a week I post. And I talk about some just personal things that I'm dealing with in my life that I don't talk about on here or anywhere else for that matter. And it's kind of just a great way for you guys to get to know me on a more intimate level. So check me out on Patreon if you're interested in that. Before we get started, guys, yes, I have a hat on my head. I need a haircut, and I spent the past hour and a half trying to make my hair look good, and I'm just really particular about my hair, and I thought, let me just put a hat on, because if I don't, I'm going to be in the bathroom for the next 3 hours trying to do something. So I'm getting a haircut soon. I'm back, guys. I know it's been a while. It's been almost 2 weeks since I've posted last. I don't think I'm going to make an entire video on kind of what I've been dealing with, but guys, I was pretty sick for the past almost 2 months, and I'm finally healed up and better now, but some things kind of happened that just kept making me feel even worse, and it was like a snowball effect. So I really just was not in a good mindset, and when I'm not feeling good like that, I don't want to put out content because it just doesn't really exude positive energy like I want it to. So I hope you guys can understand that. But I'm here now, like I said, and I don't know what it was. I went to a doctor and they said that I had an upper respiratory infection. So I was prescribed some meds, and here I am, thankfully. But let's get right into this video, guys. So I wanted to talk about some things that I was never taught how to do, and the reason I wanted to talk about these things is because I find myself kind of looking within whenever I meet new people and they share stories about something they did in high school or something that their father taught them how to do, or just anything like that that kind of triggers me to look within myself and kind of think about what lessons have I learned. So I have some lessons that I was never taught, and I want to get started with the first one. The first one may seem small and unimportant, but it's pretty important, especially to a young man. I was never taught how to shave properly. I remember when I was in middle school going into 8th grade, I started growing facial hair, and I didn't like the way it was growing in, so I kind of just wanted to shave it off and kind of keep a smooth face. And mind you guys, I did shave. I'm not doing No Shave November just because I'm not really a fan of how I look with facial hair. I can grow facial hair, but I don't like how itchy it gets, and I touch my face too much when I have it, so I like to have a clean face. Anyway, yeah, I was never taught how to shave properly, and I remember asking my dad one time before church to teach me how to shave, and he said, no, you don't even need to. You're too young. I'll teach you later on. And then he just never wanted to teach me how to do that. And I remember, I think it was soon after I asked him how to shave, I tried it myself one morning before I went to school. And of course, I cut my face all up, and I had to put the tissue paper on, and I just had red spots all over my jaw area and cheeks, and I didn't know how far to shave, how far up to go. I didn't know if you're supposed to shave here. I didn't know how far you're supposed to go here. I didn't know anything about shaving on your neck. I didn't even know how to use a razor blade the right way. So a lot of that I learned through trial and error, and it did make me a little bit sad when I thought about the topic of this video, because that's something that your dad should teach you how to do. And I don't blame my dad. I don't, hold this kind of grief or resentment towards him because of this, but I do wish he would have taught me how to shave, because I remember also when I was in high school, I think it was 10th or ninth grade, I went to school one day and I got into class and I was really close friends with this girl. Me and her were like besties back then, and she looked at me and she's like, why is your face, like, she saw the line of peach fuzz. Like, I had peach fuzz, I still do, but I had like a line of peach fuzz from here to like here, and she's like, why did you shave up that high? And I felt like my face turned blood red. I was just so embarrassed instantly. I didn't even want to be in school for the rest of that day because I just felt really embarrassed, and I felt like everybody could tell and everybody was making fun of me, and like I felt like I didn't know how to be a man. It made me feel like kind of emasculated. So that was one of the lessons that I was never taught, and luckily now I know how to shave. I shave pretty regularly, and especially as I've gotten older, I have to shave just about every single day if I want to look clean and, fresh. So let's get on to the next lesson. The next thing I was never taught how to do is laundry. Now, this is another lesson that might seem really small and just unnecessary to even include in this video, but we're all human. We all like to have fresh, clean clothes, I think, and it's important for all of us to know how to do our laundry. I remember being in elementary school doing my own laundry because I grew up with a single dad. He was not home in the mornings when I was getting ready to go to school, so instead of wearing dirty clothes, I kind of just started watching my dad do the laundry, and then I figured out how to do it myself. Made some mistakes along the way, but sometimes in life you have to take things into your own hand and just, get yourself to where you want to be, even if you're like a 10-year-old like I was. I just remember going over to my friends' houses and their moms would be doing their laundry or folding their laundry, and it was just never like that for me. I was always really independent, even from a young age, like 10. So, I don't know who was in charge of teaching me how to do laundry. I don't even know if that's like a thing that parents are supposed to do. I remember doing laundry at 10 years old, and I think that it was kind of a foreshadowing of what my life was going to become. Because to this day, I've just become exponentially more independent and just not waiting or willing to wait on anybody for anything. Excuse me, guys. I'm so glad to be back here with you guys. You don't even know, like, my mindset has just been so twisted and skewed, but now I'm back, guys. I even rearranged my room to where it was when I was first on my grind, getting everything going, just because I want everything to be back in the mix. I want it all to be, like, where I was 2 months ago. So, let's get on to the next lesson that I was never taught. The next lesson is how to love. Sounds sad, guys. It does. It sounds really sad. And it kind of is. And I think the reason I was never taught what love is or how to love, and I'm not talking about love in like a family sense. I'm talking about romantic love. So my parents were divorced since I was 6 years old, and I never really had an example of true love to look at or to want to have later in my life as I was growing up. It was very much dating, constant dating. My parents were dating. My dad had multiple different girlfriends. My mom had different men, but I didn't even get to meet her men. She was always very secretive on that part of her life. But I never, my sister dated guys here and there, but I didn't really have any immediate example of what true love is. So I think that has kind of stuck with me throughout the years, even until this day, that, I don't know how to even feel if I'm in love with somebody. I don't even know what that feels like or what to look out for, So it's just kind of something that I've thought about for the past couple of years and kind of ignored, but I think, I've had people tell me, when you meet somebody, you'll know if you love them. And I haven't had that situation happen yet. I'm still waiting. But it's like, how do I know? Like, how do I know what that feels like if I've never experienced that? So that's something that I'm still learning and something I'm still going to have to discover as I progress through my life. My parents also had a pretty weird divorce situation. They didn't hate each other, and they kind of came around each other more frequently than they probably should have when I was growing up. And I think that kind of affected my sister and I. I will speak for myself in this, but my sister has told me that, it's affected her in some ways. But for me, it's just kind of really bugged me because I just begged them for years and years to just get back together because, my mom would come over and have dinner with us at my dad's house, and then I would catch them kissing on the back patio after dinner. And it was just stuff like that growing up as a young kid, you're like, why are you guys divorced? Why don't I have both of my parents under the same roof? Why are you guys screaming today, but why were you just, hugging and kissing and like doing whatever yesterday? It was just always so confusing for like my young little brain to comprehend. And I think that it has a lot to do with my skewed vision of what love is and, what to look for or like what I even want out of a loving relationship. So I wish my parents would have kind of been more responsible in that aspect. I don't wish that they hated each other, but I wish they would have kind of went their separate ways. And I wish my mom would have at least moved out of the town that my dad lived in. It was just very, confusing. And I brought this up to them multiple times growing up, but, parents are going to do what parents want to do, and I'm just the kid. So here I am now, but I do kind of think about that still because they still talk to this day, and it's like, why are you guys still in contact with each other? I know that they still have feelings for each other, but they're dating other people, but I hope my dad gets remarried and I hope my mom gets remarried because that would kind of give me closure to the possibility of them getting back together. So let's move on to the next lesson. Okay, guys, so the next lesson kind of goes hand in hand with what I was just talking about, and that is the fact that I was never taught what to look for in somebody. I was never taught, like, look for this, or, like, this trait is what you want out of somebody. Because, for one, I didn't have that marriage relationship in my childhood home growing up, so I didn't see, like, my dad bring my mom flowers home from work. I didn't see him take her out on dates, and I didn't see the Valentine's Day rose petals, and the romantic stuff like that. I never saw any of that growing up. So all of that is like really foreign to me. And I honestly don't know what to look for in somebody because growing up, you guys probably know this if you've seen my past videos, I've only dated girls growing up, and I had multiple girlfriends, not at a time, but I had multiple different girlfriends throughout the years, and it just seemed like every single girl I brought home, my dad did not like. Every single girl. Not one did he like. Unless, I'll take that back. He liked my one girlfriend when I was in 4th grade. That's it. But every single other girl that I brought over, he just was very mean to, very rude. And all I ever wanted was him to be proud of me and just be like, yeah, son, good job. She's beautiful. So a lot of those lessons about what to look for in somebody and how to even look for somebody, I learned those lessons myself and really grateful for those lessons that I've learned. But I also wish that my dad would have gave me some pointers growing up. Guys, just so you know, this video is not just about my dad. It's just about me. Some of these lessons probably could have been taught to me by my dad, but I don't want this video to come off in any way as like oh, dad, you could have did this, you could have did this, you could have did better. No, it's just talking about the situation at hand and what it is. So I think it still affects me to this day because I really don't know what to look for in somebody. I'm not superficial, so I don't just base looks on everything because I've had issues in the past with that type of thinking, but I'm still learning a lot about myself, and I hope that throughout the years and as I progress through my life, I'll learn more and more what I want and what I don't want out of a loving relationship. Okay, guys, let's get to the next lesson that I was never taught, and this one may come as a surprise to you, but maybe not. Guys, I was never taught how to do the deed. I never had the talk from any of my parents, nothing. Not a single speck of information growing up about reproduction or, safe practices or anything like that. Nothing. It was just never spoken of. I really wish one of my parents would have had that talk with me, because I remember losing my virginity to a girl, and it was just very scary for me. It wasn't even exciting so much as just scary, because I didn't know how anything worked. I was 15 years old. I just did not know what I was doing. I was scared that I was going to get her pregnant. I was scared that, a mistake was going to happen, and I just didn't know the motion. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know about protection, anything about that. So I didn't know about, lube, anything. So, and when I say anything, guys, anything. So I grew up with just a lot of, internal curiosity about the deed. And once I got out of my hometown and the house that I grew up in, I went crazy. And I think that if my parents would have had that talk with me, and it would have been less of a taboo subject in my house growing up, I don't think that would have happened. I really don't. So, it was just never spoken of. It was never joked about, anything. Even on TV, if something came on TV, it was just, the channel was changed. And I think it was just uncomfortability from my parents, but that's your responsibility as a parent. You should definitely have that talk with your kids, because who else is going to? They're going to have to learn themselves. Don't expect them to learn it in school, because half of those health classes are just jokes anyway. So yep, I was never taught how to do the deed. I think now I'm pretty good at it. I don't really need any lessons on it, but isn't it kind of crazy how the things that you don't have in life sometimes can contribute to what you have later on in life, if that makes sense? So I just think it's crazy the way life works, because I never thought I would be working in the adult industry, even, in my senior year of high school. It's just the way things transpired, and feels right for me. It's fun, and I'm just happy. I'm grateful for where I am now, and I'm grateful for the lessons that life has taught me so far. I know there's tons more to know, though, tons more to learn. Life is about learning your own lessons. That's basically what it is, and I've kind of discovered that in my short 23 years of life. But I'm excited to keep learning things, and I'm excited to keep learning about myself, and hopefully, I'll be able to share my life with somebody someday. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know if any of these life lessons stood out to you or resonated with you. And I'm bringing back coffee and current events on Thursday, so please keep an eye out for that. I've had multiple people reach out and say that they missed the coffee and current events, so keep an eye out for that, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you on Thursday. Bye.